So, I just recorded an introduction to one of the modules in my Undiet School, and I thought I would share it with you here because it really answers the question of how can you lose weight without dieting, and can you do it in a way that actually is something that can heal you?
Hi there. Welcome to this training all about how to lose weight naturally without dieting. It is the Delish Dieta protocol, which basically means the way that you eat and your lifestyle and your daily habits and how those affect your health. So that is the original meaning of the word diet. And that's why we make the distinction in this program that what we're working with is basically a dieta, which is based on the original Greek root of the word and what it actually means. So nobody who is a natural healthy weight has to count calories to lose weight or to maintain their ideal weight, right? Because if they're at their natural weight, then they don't have any weight to lose. They're not counting calories, and somehow they have an optimal body weight. So the question becomes is why is it that some people have to micromanage their food in order to maintain an ideal weight or get to an ideal weight, right? To lose body fat. So there's a lot of things that have gone awry in our society that put people in the place where they have been doing things that are unnatural to the human body that is causing the body to go into a state of stress and to hold onto fat as one of the ways to protect itself. Now, there's a lot of different reasons why it will do that. One of them is if you are not getting enough food in general, your body thinks that there's a famine out there and you're going to starve to death. And so restrictive eating over a long period of time will lead the metabolism to slow down in order to preserve body fat because your primal brain thinks there's a famine out there. Another reason is because your body is concerned with what would happen if you actually lost the fat because it's afraid of what's in those fat cells. And so a lot of people don't know that you're actually storing toxins in your fat cells. Now, these toxins can be internally generated from poor digestion, but they can also be externally generated from our environment. Now, nobody watching this is even able to get themselves free of toxins in a sense because this modern society, this industrialized world is full of chemicals, ones that you can't even see, right? Even the minute you buy anything off the store shelf and you bring it into your house, it's off gassing fumes, right? So every single person is exposed to chemicals, and your body is so intelligent that it protects you from these toxins by storing them away in your fat cells where it's safe, keeping them away from your vital organs. Now, this is an amazing thing that your body's doing. Your body, if it's overweight, if you have too much fat, it's because it has a reason to protect you. Another reason why a body will store fat is when you have a condition called insulin resistance, which is something that many people have and don't realize that they have, especially after a certain age, right? Like after the 40s, and even for women, even often earlier because of going through pregnancy and childbirth and the stress that that causes on the body, will start to get insulin resistant. And what that is a scenario in which your body it's getting too much sugar in your bloodstream and it's not able to actually pull that sugar into your cells to use it for energy because it's overburdened by carbohydrates, right? So carbohydrates break down into sugar. And of course, there may have been a time in your life where you were able to eat carbs and they never caused you to gain weight. But then suddenly, after having babies or reaching your 40s and beyond, it's suddenly even natural whole food carbohydrates will cause you to gain weight. And this again is your body trying to protect you from eating too many sugars, even if they're natural, even if they're not, they're foods that aren't even sweet. These carbohydrates break down right into sugar, so you can't have too much sugar in your bloodstream. And when you do, your body protects you from that sugar by turning it into fat and storing it as fat. So, we don't think of sugar as a toxin, but if it's overeaten or you don't have the capacity to digest and break down carbohydrates for other health reasons, then that sugar becomes something toxic to your body. So, those are three examples of how your body is using fat to protect you. So, the way that we actually address it is not to try to force the body to get fat off, but because if we did that, we would literally be putting our body in a bigger state of stress because we're literally taking away the thing that it's using to protect itself, right? So that can only backfire. Of course, anybody can restrict calories for a certain amount of time and lose weight. I mean, you've probably proved it to yourself. Unfortunately, if you do that over and over and over again, it won't even work in the short term. But any way you slice it, unless you want to count calories and restrict and like obsess about food and how many calories are in them, that is not a long-term strategy for getting to your ideal weight or maintaining it. And I don't know people who want to do that, right? Like, it's very high maintenance. It's, you have to be type A, and it's just not fun. So, and it doesn't address the real reasons that a person is overweight, the health reasons underlying it. And eventually, over time, in everyone, it will backfire. It doesn't address the health issues. So that's the purpose of this program, which is to address the underlying root causes of why the body wants to be fat, and to accept that and to thank your body that, okay, I understand that you're doing this for a reason, and I'm going to help you. I'm going to help you get out of the state of chronic stress and toxicity and depletion. And I'm going to give you what you need so that you can actually get rid of those toxins in a safe way and be well nourished and get all the body's needs met, right? So, one of the things I like to think about to get it into a perspective that's empowering is that your body is like an animal. It has certain needs, and basically if those needs are not met, you're going to have the body so-called act out in some way, right? With a symptom to tell you, it's a cry for help, right? It's to tell you something's wrong and it needs to change. So when people ignore that and instead try to force their body to release fat by pushing it and shoving it around, right? With like excessive exercise, like just beating yourself to the ground with exercise, or starving yourself as punishment, trying to force that fat off. That is a form of self abuse. You're literally abusing this beautiful animal body that you have that gets you through life. And imagine if you were dealing with a pet or a child. You know that when that pet or that child acts out, it's coming from an unmet need. And if you abuse the child or the animal verbally or physically, it's only going to make the situation worse, right? They have, two choices, which is to go into fight or flight and like act out even more, or to go into freeze or fawn mode, which is to protect oneself, which is suppressing the trauma, right? And that results in a very unhealthy person who struggles through life, right? So, same thing when we do that with our bodies. So, I like to remind myself that this is a body. I am, as the mind, the soul, I am a steward of this body. And I have to, if it's crying out with symptoms, it's telling me that something needs to shift, to change, there's an unmet need. And so it's my job as the soul, the spirit, the intellect, to figure out what that is and meet that need. And this is such an important thing because a lot of times people come to their health journeys or their weight loss journey with the perspective that there's something wrong with them and there's something wrong with their body, and it's just needs to be fixed. Somebody needs to fix it, right? Or they believe that, oh, their body is failing them. And that's a perspective that is not empowering, and it's putting the blame on our body instead of looking at where we have the power to change what's going on with our body as the steward of that body. So, mindset is super crucial when it comes to losing weight without dieting. We have to put our health first. When we put our health first, then our body gets into balance and then it has no need for that extra body fat. So then it becomes safe for that body fat to release itself. There is no actual calorie counting organ in your body. So your body is not looking at the food you're eating and going, oh, there's this many calories. Oh, this many didn't get used. So let's put these there and store them as fat. That's not how it works. Your body actually stores fat based on hormonal signals. And those signals are created based on what you eat, your environment, and how you feel. Even just having stressful thoughts can trigger cortisol, which triggers insulin, which is a fat storage hormone. So, really, our body is absolutely designed to be healthy and to be at an optimal weight. But unfortunately, we have been tricked into this idea that the only thing we need to do to lose weight is exercise more and eat less. And that is a disservice to meeting the real true needs of our body. And just, it's really, really important to understand that it's hormones that tell your body whether to store fat or burn fat, not calories. So when you realize that there is no calorie counting organ doing that, where you have the power to make a difference is choosing diet and lifestyle and mindset and emotional work that is going to actually allow your body to go into rest and digest and relax mode so that your hormones can be balanced and then allow your body to basically reorder itself and release that body fat and increase health, which lowers your weight set point, making it easier for you to maintain your ideal weight without having to diet, without having to be super concerned about much more than just the quality of the food you eat. So that's one of the things that you're going to be learning is about how the food that you eat impacts your hormones. And there are certain foods that do cause your body to store fat and ones that are less likely to store fat. And sometimes it's a combination of how you're eating, along with lifestyle, your mindset, your emotions, your mood. All these things play into how your body responds to the food when it gets into your system. It's really a holistic process of identifying at the individual level what's going to be ideal for you. And that's basically why I created this program with so many different channels and that you can walk yourself through to get to the root cause for you, because every single person is different in terms of like what is causing their weight gain or their inability to lose weight or inflammation in their body, underlying health imbalances. Certain foods will have certain effects in the general concept, and then sometimes those foods, even if they're the thing that will help other people lose weight, they might actually cause inflammation in another person and cause weight gain, regardless of their calories or how much they would typically trigger fat burning versus fat loss. So there's a lot to explore based on your unique individuality, and that's what the bigger picture of this program helps you do. This is where we're going to all start, is with the Delish Dieta protocol. It's like a firm foundation on which you can get started and then tweak from there. So you're going to go from here on this page using the Delish Dieta protocol. And then, well, actually, if you only have 15 pounds to lose, there's a good chance you won't even have to go past this page, to be honest with you. But if you are losing weight slow, or you're still struggling with getting results, then you want to go into the 90-day metabolic reboot plan, because that's going to help you to address the underlying issues that typically cause people to have stubborn weight, and just reboots your body. And if you're like, a lot of people will get to their ideal weight with just those two parts of this program. And then for other people, you have deeper underlying health issues, and then you want to add in what you learn in the body balance protocols to individualize your path. And then as you continue to go on, you might be losing weight at a good pace, but sometimes you maybe want to speed it up. Then you will do the blast pass plateau plans. And then you can also use the cleanses and detoxes if you're, again, getting stuck with health issues, health symptoms. They will lower your weight set point. And of course, all of these steps are going to support you to get healthier, right? So you're not just going to lose the weight, but you're getting healthier. So ideally, you want to attain optimal health, right? It's not just about, avoiding disease. It's about getting to the place where your health is optimal so that you can live the life that you were here to live with all the energy that you could possibly have to be able to live that life. So that's the point, right? It's not just about getting to an ideal weight and looking a certain way and or feeling a certain way, but it's about living the life that you desire, not held down or held back by feeling sluggish and having toxicity and low energy and feeling flabby and uncomfortable with the way you look and not, wanting to be seen. All those things hold us back in life. And we want to be our true selves, I call it our divine right body weight and shape, which is the way the creator designed us to be before the industrial complex came in and bombarded us with all these toxins and like erroneous ideas of what's healthy, such as like, food pyramids and things like that, and taking us away from what our ancestors knew about how to be healthy and getting us back to that, right? So that's what this is all about. And on this page, I'm going to be walking you through all the stuff that's related to the food part of things primarily, so that you can get this foundation in place and then be able to build from there and then like choose your own adventure in health and using your weight loss journey as a catalyst to transform your life.
If you want my help to lose weight without dieting by putting your health first, check in the description box below to learn more about the Delish Undiet School.